For the second time this year, Chief Mrs. Modupeola Oguntade and her husband, Justice George Adesola Oguntade, have had the rare but divine privilege to celebrate the wedding of another child in the family. This time around, the entire Oguntade and Aino families, as has become traditional with them, in their numbers, with hearts filled with joy in company of friends and well-wishers from across the world, to lead Olujimi Olufemi Aino into this sacred marital institution with the love of his life, the very delectably beautiful Ibijola Abiose Olatunde Bali, the granddaughter of the late governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Ola Vincent. The Cathedral Church of Christ Marina Lagos played host to a very high-profile list of dignitaries from the academia, corporate world, the traditional institution, the business community, and indeed virtually all strata of the society. They had come to share in the joy of both families. With the choir and entire congregation engaged in spirit-filled music rendition, the bride and her father walked into the church in measured steps. The church service took proper shape then on. The first assignment undertaken by the couple was a solemn exchange of marital vows, which was strictly supervised by the officiating minister, which culminated in the exchange of their wedding rings and special prayers for them by the clergy.
All my worldly goods will be a share, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
In the sermon delivered by the officiating clergyman, he began by rejoicing with both families on the success of the wedding of their children, which he prayed will last till eternity. The man of God advised the couple to take the enterprise of marriage, which they had just stepped in, with all the seriousness they can muster, because it will demand all their attention. They have to close market and nurture it and guard it very jealously. The couple were advised to lock the door against the third party, because their affair is strictly for two of them. Most importantly, the couple were asked to be very prayerful and let their lives be guided by Christian doctrine of life. That way, they'll be spiritually fortified to surmount any problems that may spring forth.
So the church submit absolutely to our Lord. Similarly, all wives must have the explicit and implicit trust that at all times my husband wish me well. And that trust, you must continuously work towards achieving unity of purpose. You must forget the previous ideas you have been told about marriage. You must forget about the opinions that you will hear from different quarters. How they will tell you that men are not to be trusted though. If you put your hand on a man, you must forget that. You must focus entirely on your husband.
The signing of the marriage register was another function the couple happily performed, with very solid support from their parents. The clergymen observed the spiritual proceedings as the choir and congregation sang along. The Thanksgiving session featured hearty singing and dancing by the couple, their parents, and all those who had come to rejoice with them from different parts of the world.
Happy
The couple who looked a perfect match for each other in every aspect, exuding journeying happiness and savoring the sacred status they had just attained, were formally presented to the entire congregation, who welcomed them with a great applause. The church service ended with the couple, their parents, the clergy, and everyone headed out with the recessional hymn in the background. There was a quick photo and video session with the couple outside the church before the proceedings moved to reception venue. The upscale Harbour Point in Victoria Island, Lagos was the venue of the reception. The Bijola Bali and Olujimi Aina wedding was indeed the party to beat on Saturday, 25th of May 2013, with both families stopping at nothing to give their children the very best in terms of everything. They drew full scale from the rich harvest of goodwill they had garnered over the years, with friends, associates, and colleagues coming at their behest. In fact, the Bali, Aina, and Oguntade'S wedding completely locked down traffic in the Victoria Island Ikoyi axis of Lagos for hours. Without any doubt at all, friends of the Bali, Aina, and Oguntade'S families showed that with love, space cannot be any constraint, as they converged in their numbers at the reception venue, which was a very colorful ambience of the turquoise and turquoise color for the women and the men in their uniform cap. The parents of the bride, Mr. and Mrs. Bali, and their friends and family members hit the dance floor in grand style as they danced heartily. The parents of the groom, Justice George Oguntade and his wife, Chief Mrs. Modupe'ola Oguntade, really went traditional in the way they were ushered in to the arena. The wedding reception began with prayers and a minute's silence in remembrance of the late father of the groom, Dr. Olujimi Aina, and the late grandfather of the bride, Mr. Ola Vincent, former CBN governor. This was as directed by Chief Bukola Okunawa, who was the chairman of the very special wedding. In his address, the chairman asked the couple to take very seriously the advice given to them at the church and accord each other due respect. Chief Bukola Okunawa's advice to the couple is drawn from over 30 years in the sacred marriage institution. Therefore, the couple are in safe hands. They cannot go wrong if they interpret to the letter the advice given them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Whatever you wish this couple, in your inner self, inner thoughts, please, in your silent prayer time, pray for them. Remember them in your prayer because they are now making a new step in their life, that it will be well with them.
The cutting of the wedding cake, which looked like a high-rise building, which was officiated by Chief Molade Okoya Thomas, had in attendance high flyers in the society, like Chief Mrs. Nika Konde, Chief Mrs. Folonsho Alakija, and the wife of the monarch of Ijebuland, Mrs. Adetono.
We are more than 10,000 here. In the name of Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. We thank God for you, Mr. Minister.
The bride and groom fed each other afterwards. The bride had the usual validity dance with her father, while the groom, Olujimi Aina, had a session with her mum before the stage was vacated for the couple. The throwing of the bouquet by the bride and the gatter by the groom brought out friends of the couple who are yet to be engaged. What seemed like a matchmaking experiment may not be far from being accomplished, jokes apart, if they put their heads and hearts to it. The toast of the couple was duly proposed, and the groom, Olujimi, on behalf of his wife and both families, thanked everyone who contributed to the success of the wedding. Olujimi stated without any equivocation, speaking on behalf of himself and the wife, that they will make sure that their own wedding is an encouragement for others who seek to do such things. They therefore advised everyone to embrace the marriage institution because there's nothing like it.
I want to thank my wife's parents for everything they've done till today, for raising her up till now. But now, Ibidola is now my property. She is in her husband's house. Please let us enjoy it. I want to thank my parents, Justice and Mrs. Oguntade. I cannot thank you enough. You people are amazing. I can't thank you enough. I can't believe this crowd is because of me and Ibidola. It's amazing. My daddies, my uncles, I can see my brother there. He came from America, all the way from America for this wedding. My mom, let's go, Lisa. I never know make you shy. Thank you very much again. I can't thank everybody enough. My boss, let's go, Lisa.
The star-studded wedding of Ibijola Bose Olatunde Bali and Olujimi Olufemi Aino ended with something like a musical concert. This featured the rave of the moment, Wizkid and other artists. Friends of the couple and even the older ones joined in the fun unlimited that ensued, dancing very vigorously. And to formally close all the good times of the wedding, we had the faith band performing. The parents of the couple, their friends, and everyone gyrated to the beat. The Bisi Olatile show, BOS, actually congratulates the Bali, Aino, and Oguntade, as well as Hastrop and Ola Vincent families for the success of the wedding of their children, which we pray will bring forth fruits of the womb henceforth.
Oh,